Hi, this is Chris Day, Managing Editor of the Morning News and scnow.com. Nearly 17 years of being a public servant will come to a close this month for Frank J. Buddy Brand. Brand represented District 3 on the Florence City Council for 15 years. In November 2020, he was elected to represent District 8 on the Florence County Council. He filled the unexpired term of James Schofield, who died in office. Brand lost re-election in the Republican primary in June to William Schofield. Brand discusses the community's successes he has helped bring to fruition and the importance of city-county cooperation as he reviews his years as a public servant. End of the run on the county council. You've been there about a year, right?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yes, sir.
So tell me just a little bit about your experience on the county council.
All right. If you don't mind, I'd like to go back to the city council
let's
too.
go. Yeah.
I started my tenure as public service, Chris, back in 2005. So I'm ending up right at 17 years of service on the city council and the county council. I really enjoy my service on both for sure. And my experience on all of them have been with really good leaders. It goes back to Frank Willis as the mayor in 2005. And then Stephen Wakila comes in, and he was on there for 3 terms. And then now Willard Daugherty is the chairman of county council. So I've worked with several different councils of government, and they have been outstanding people to work with. All 3 of those leaders, Frank Willis, Stephen Wakila, and Willard Daugherty. Mm-hmm. Variety of differences in their opinions, but quality people. 2 Democrats and 1 Republican, if you'll say it that way. And my experience on all has been really good. We work as a city council. We work really well together, Chris, to get things done. There was unified cohesion, if you will, on the city council. And I have found that the county council is, at least my term on it, although be it short, is very similar. Okay, very, very similar. And I would also like to say, Chris, the whole reason for me getting in politics, and I don't really consider politics, this is local, so I consider that just part of community service, is years ago, somebody came to me before I was on council and said, it was a doctor, and he said, we're losing our young people to other places in Florence. In other words, when they let go off to school, they don't come back. And I thought, I have 4 children, and I don't want them to leave and not come back. So I said, I need to be involved in this. So that's how I got involved in council altogether. And I thought that was really quite a statement. And so I said, what can I do as a group, as on council, to make this happen? And so I ran for county or city council, and we started work. And it appeared that what we were losing people to, just use an example, because this is a doctor, he said that the spouses of these doctors were not finding anything to do in Florence. The doctors loved the hospitals, whether it's McLeod or MUSC. The spouses found not a whole lot to do. So that was the first thing as far as trying to get downtown revitalization going. And that's not just a city issue, that's a county issue too, Chris. Mm-hmm. It's both. You have to have the city and the county working together. And because of the leadership on city council at the time, we had a super, and I don't know if you knew Drew Griffin before he left the city manager, but he was an outstanding person. He was one of these guys that he didn't say no, he just said we can't do it this way, but we can do it this way. And by doing that, we were able to really help investors downtown, to bring local people that had the ability to bring jobs downtown and restructure downtown. And I think that one thing alone has set Florence off to a really good start, because people are not leaving and not coming back like they were. Out of my family, I've got 2 that have come back, and 2 that one of them for sure will come back, I hope. And that's important for our community. As you can see, and you know better than I, you've got towns like Marion, Darlington, where the people have left and the downtowns haven't come back because the people are gone, the young people are gone. And that's what we can't have happen in Florence. And that is exactly why the city and county councils both have worked to make that happen. More so the city because it's downtown, but the county from an industrial development point of view, which is what the county really does, is to bring in jobs to keep people in the community. And that has happened, and it's going to happen in a big way here before long. I think I've been very humbled by the people that have elected me to both city and county council. When I think about how the term has been, when I put my head down on the pillow at night, Chris, I feel good about it. I feel good that I did what I could to help out, and that's really important. I would say that the things that I'm the most proud of, not for me, but for the community, is as I was able to be on the council when the Veterans Park was started. Now, I give credit mainly to Frank Willis on that because that was his idea. But I was actually on the council. We put the money together to make that happen. And that is a wonderful place. And the other, to me, is the downtown revitalization. It's working together. I mean, you've got, at the time, Steve Wakila, he may be one of the most liberal people that I've ever dealt with, and I'm probably the most conservative, okay? But we work together, and we realize if we work together, we can make things happen, okay? And that's what we have done. Not just me and him, but Drew and the rest of the council. And I feel like that's very important. And it has been really important. The downtown has changed dramatically before you got here. I mean, it was pretty much a desolate place, Chris, and it's not anymore.
Right.
It's a place where there's a lot of traffic, lots of jobs, and I just hope the continuation of that will expand because we've set in place 2 years, a year and a half ago for these things to happen, and they need to happen in order to continue to grow downtown. I will say the collaboration and working, the city and the county working together is super important. You have to have that, and hopefully that'll continue. I certainly will do everything I can to help that and outside of council best I can. And I guess more than anything, Chris, I want to thank my family for allowing me to spend 17 years doing that. If you do the right work, it's not just sitting on a council committee. It's actually getting in there, getting your hands muddy, dirty. And that's probably the other regret that I have is I took time away from family to help the community. And since I'm from here, I wanted to give back. And that's exactly what I tried to do. And like I told you, I feel good about it when I put my head down on the pillow at night.
Okay. Now, you mentioned city-county cooperation and between the two councils, and you know that has been a point of emphasis, I think, during your entire career.
Yes, sir.
On the city and the county level.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think needs or can be done or needs to be done to help that continue and grow?
That's a great question. We have restarted. I say we, the county and city, have restarted the city-county conference committee together. It was working there for a while, and then it kind of just got disbanded. I think during the COVID period, it really stopped. And that group has got to work better together to resolve differences with each other, but not just resolve differences, but think about things that can help down the road. Whether the city's got the water, okay, the county's got the land. So if you put those together, you can make things happen. And that's kind of collaboration has got to be held in order for that to continue. And it's not like the city's working against the county. My goodness, we've got all these counties around us working against us. We got to work together, and I think we're doing that. And not just, Chris, it's not. And I've always thought this: it's not just the city and the county working together. This is a region, and just like the Greenville region, Columbia, Charleston. I mean, we're sitting here, and we can't fight each other. We got to bring in the Marions, the Dillons, the Darlingtons. Because if we don't, we're hurting our whole region. And that's what Florence has got. It's just so great. You've got two major hospitals in this community that are fantastic. And I mean, where can you go and in less than 10 minutes be at one of the major medical centers in the community like ours? And then you have a civic center or community center out there that's second to none. It may not be as big as others, but it's still a great facility. And then, of course, everybody always talks about I-95 and I-20, certainly. And those are continuing to expand and will. So the whole idea about what your question was is the city the county together. There just needs to be more meetings between the two to find ways to get things done. And I think that's happening. I really do. I believe it's something the mayor and the chairman of the county council have got to come together more, in my opinion, to do the best they can for both. That's a really good question.
Now, you mentioned the Veterans Park and revitalization of downtown. Is there anything else that, back in your 15 or so year career on the city council that just stands out as something you feel especially proud of that the city accomplished while you were in office?
I think expanding our water and sewer is huge, and it's continuing. I mean, they're gonna have to spend about $100 million to revitalize the plummet, if you will, for the city. There are pipes all over the city that were made of clay that are 60, 70, 80 years old. All that stuff's got to be pulled up and redone and expanded for sure. And we started that, and it's continuing, but not at the pace it probably should. I think the biggest thing is I learned how to work together with people. Before I don't know that I didn't work together with people, but I just felt I needed to be more connected to the community as a whole. And I think that positive thing is what I gained most out of it, is working with people and listening to their ideas versus just thinking about mine. So any particular issue, what I can't see, I'll say this, working with Francis Marion, okay, with the Performing Arts Center came along. Matter of fact, I was at the grand opening of that when the ribbon was cut. I think Steve McKeela had just become mayor. I mean, just like a week before. And you think of all the things that has brought Francis Marion downtown, that's pretty huge. And the other thing is the collaboration of these individuals that were willing to invest millions and millions of dollars downtown, even though that's part of downtown revitalization. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of people working downtown that we didn't have that before. So all those things are major, in my opinion.
Now, is there, after all this experience, political experience or governmental experience, whatever you want to call it,
right?
Do you see a direction, or what direction do you think the city and county need to go in the next 5 or 10 years?
That's another great question. I think the biggest direction we need to go in is jobs. We need jobs in our community. We're going to get those jobs, and I think Florence is on the precipice of becoming a major regional hub with what I see out there coming along. And I think you'll see something along that very soon.
Okay. Now, what's next for you? I know you've been involved in many community organizations. I believe you're on the board at one time of United Way.
Used to be, yeah. Boys and Girls Club, all those things.
So is this something?
I'm not stopping that stuff.
You're not stopping that?
No, I'm on the board of McLeod. I'm the vice chairman of McLeod Hospital Board, and I'll continue to serve on that as long as they'll have me. And I'll put my feelers out whenever Mayor Teresa Irvin or Willow Doherty ask me. I'll help in some fashion if they ask me to. But I'm not giving up community service. I'm just I'll always be involved in the community because I feel like it's part of what I should do.
Anything else you want to add, or have we covered everything? I ran out of my questions.
No, I just thank the people for allowing me to serve. I'm very humbled by that, and I thank my family too, because I gave up time, which I wish, when I look back, I gave up time with my kids, and that's probably the biggest regret that I have. But because of what I did on the other side, I think I made Florence a better place for them to live.